having the will to do something. You know, we have the means to do all these things, but with Obama in office, we don't have the will to do it.
Right.
And I think that when you have Trump in charge, when Trump is the president, you're going to have the will to accomplish all these things. And, you know, most people don't want to lead. Most people want to be led by a strong leader. And when Trump goes out there and exerts his will, people will fall in line behind him, and they will follow. Yeah. And, you know, here's one thing I wanted to say real quickly about that, is that, you know, I've been in sales for 30 years, so I know sales techniques and negotiation techniques, you know, backwards. I could probably teach classes on them. And what Trump has been doing the last few days is what we call a presumptive close, okay? He has been acting as if he's not just running for president, but he's been acting as if he's already the president.
Isn't it amazing?
The last couple days.
Isn't that, listen,
speeches, the way he talks and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's showing people what it's like to own him. It's like we call it, you know, or the puppy dog close, where you want to sell somebody a puppy dog, so you give it to them to take home overnight, so they'll feel like it's already there.
Yeah, he's basically bringing everybody into his realm of reality, and sort of like what Steve Jobs used to do. I forget the name he used to use for that, where he basically made people believe and believe in their work and believe and trust in him, and when people used to say, well, that can't be done, he goes, no, it can be done. And he used to like make people believe that yes, it couldn't be done. And now we have the iPhone, and now we have all these awesome, you know, products from Apple, whether you hate them or not, but they are awesome products. Jack, I want to thank you for calling. Continue to listen to us on Spreaker. I want to thank you for calling to the show.
Thank you. But another thing that I don't get is the attack was in Brussels, but that's the headquarters of NATO.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
so we should definitely do something.
Exactly. Thank you very much for calling, Jack.
No problem. Bye.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Sounds like me when I was in sixth grade.
I remember being in sixth grade. I think I was 10.
Good for him.
And I went to Six Flags over Texas, and that was the greatest thing ever. I remember that.
That's amazing. Well, listen, you're listening to the Sound Majority here. I'm your host, Cris, and on my co-hosts for the night are Bill Mitchell and Cristina Laila. I want to pick up the phone. I'm sorry, guys, but the phone lines are packed, and I don't want to leave these guys on the line. I want to pick up Renee from Ohio. She is a big supporter of Bill. Again, Bill is bringing in a large listenership here. Renee, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you. Hi, everyone. Hi, Bill.
Hi, Renee. How are you?
Hey, good. This is my president, me. Anyway, I had to call, and I wanted to do two things, two questions.
I talk to you all the time.
Hey. I want to ask you two questions. I'll ask the question, and then I'll hang up so you can answer it.
Okay.
The first question is discuss tonight about Utah and Arizona as far as, Bill, I'm under the impression even if Cruz gets all 40 delegates in Utah, it doesn't really matter if Trump gets Arizona with the 58 delegates, right? Because he'll walk away with 59% of the delegates. Cruz will walk away with 41, and Trump is still on track. Doesn't he need like 59% of the remaining delegates, and Cruz needs 87? So aren't we just really focused on Arizona tonight? That's my first question. And then my second question, the strategy that Cruz is doing, which is completely manipulating Trump's words like he did with NATO, like he did with Chicago. I think he's just coming from a losing, desperate position there. And I think the only thing that's doing is people who are paying attention are picking up on this whole lying Ted thing. I hear more and more conservative commentators that are more neutral. You know, they haven't really been a hardline side yet criticizing Cruz. And two, I think he's relying on low information voters. So he's actually pulling Obama's tactics. His lies are only going to work if people don't know what's going on.
All right.
So I'll hang up, and if you could talk about those two things, I'd appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Renee.
Thank you.
All right, great hearing from you. Real quickly on the Utah and Arizona thing, the only poll that we have from Utah showing Cruz at over 53% was a relatively small sample. It's about 500 people in the sample, which isn't bad for Utah, but it's not big. And was also conducted by a I believe the CEO of that polling firm was a former big Bush supporter. So the entire thing to me is relatively suspect. How much was an actual poll and how much was, propaganda? Because it's just funny that Cris just happened to be over 50% in that. But that's just, conjecture. I have no specific information on that. So, take it for what it is, what it's worth.
Awesome.
But if you look at the calendar going forward, I think that Utah is Cruz's last stand for maybe like 7 or 8 more states.
Yeah, I remember you.
And I mean, yeah, if he's going to take.
Bill? No, I remember you tweeting that out before.
Yeah.
It's a great point. We got to move.
I mean, I think that Trump. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. So anyway, I think that it's. I think the Trump will win Arizona tonight, and even if he doesn't win Utah, it doesn't really matter in the long run.
Okay. You're listening to the Silent Majority. My co-host for the night, Bill Mitchell and Cristina Laila. I got to pick up these calls. They are blowing up the phone the boards here. At this time, I want to pick up John. John from North Carolina. Welcome to the Silent Majority.
Hey, how you doing, Cris?
Good. How are you?
Good. I follow you and Bill. And,
thank you.
You guys follow me back. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm a conservative. I'm voting for the nominee. Most likely, it's going to be Trump. So I'm, I really love your political insight, especially, the tweets by you and Bill. Cristina, my only bone to pick tonight is when you call somebody a Muslim expert. I was looking on Twitter today, and Cristina, the only thing that you were having some problems with people today, and you were voicing your opinion about it. Now, we got to keep a clear head, and we gotta say, hey, listen, this isn't about me. This is about victims. When you put yourself in that spot, you open yourself up to a lot more criticism. You open yourself up to a lot more people coming after you.
The
show that it.
No. I understand, but the bottom line is this: that this is a PC free zone, and Cristina Laila actually has a long history. She has a long history of family that were basically persecuted by Islam. So, Cristina, you want to answer that?
Yeah. Well, I first started. I was actually getting ready to go to bed last night, and I couldn't sleep because I saw the news come over the wire about the attack. So I went on to Twitter, and I started off with a post. I just posted the story. Right. I didn't give an opinion. I posted the story, and I started getting called names right off the bat. So
right.
I do understand your point. I try to keep a level head. I am emotionally
involved.
I do emotionally respond because I really feel connected to what's happening because of my family history. However, when you're dealing with liberals who have this knee-jerk reaction, I mean, they are, like I said today on my Twitter account, they're incapable of deductive reasoning. So it doesn't matter what I post, whether it's facts, the story, I just post the link. I'm attacked relentlessly. I'm called all kinds of names. So I think I've gone to the point where, I know the drill.
Yeah, exactly.
I can just post a story and I
Laila,
can have a conversation with these people. So.
Exactly, Laila. If you're not receiving flack, you're not over the target. Is that what they say all the time, right?
I'm over the target.
Yeah, you're definitely over the target. But go ahead, Bill. Bill, you were going to say something?
I get attacked all day long.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I get attacked all day long, and the way I deal with trolls is, if I feel like I can use them as a foil to make a point, I'll engage them for a little while and make my point, and then I block them. Because there's no way in the world I'm going to let some troll 50 followers jump on my bandwidth and get a voice with all my followers.
Exactly.
Bill, for nothing.
Bill,
I'll use them for a while and then I cast them off.
Yeah, you know what, Bill? I say this. I get into disputes with people on Twitter all the time, and I say, listen, this is why I created the show, and I say it all the time on my shows. I go, 140 characters just wasn't enough for me to express myself. If you want to debate me, call my show. I will discuss things with you. I'm not saying I'm going to be right 100% of the time, but I will discuss it with you. And we'll have a conversation. But they're afraid to call because I guess they want to hide behind Twitter, and don't hide, just call the show and we'll discuss this. We'll discuss these things. And speaking of calls, at this time I want to pick up Rodney. Rodney, welcome to the Silent Majority. You have a question or a comment? Rodney? Hello, going once, going twice. Rodney? Nope. Okay, let's pick up Shane from North Carolina. Shane from North Carolina, welcome to the Silent Majority.
Hello, I just want to say thank you so much for your excellent program and what you're doing for the people.
Oh, thank you, man.
I also want to thank Bill for what he's doing on Twitter as well. Bill, you're doing a great job on Twitter, keeping everybody informed. I loved your tweets. It's impressive. It's incredible. I've never found anybody on Twitter that can tweet as good as you do. I just still wonder if Mitt Romney is...
do a check for this?
Say again?
I said, do I need to send you a check for this? That was very nice.
Well, just keep the good tweets up, and the new Media Patriot Radio is incredible. I love this radio program, and thanks, I hope that it continues to grow and thrive. We need this type of political punditry coming from a conservative viewpoint. We're the silent majority that's now the loud majority, and I'm a huge Trump supporter. I have been ever since he announced his candidacy for presidency in June. Mm-hmm. I have believed in him tremendously, and I just want to touch on a couple of brief things, if I may.
Sure, go ahead.
Sure.
One thing here is I'm just totally, well, in 2008, I supported the front runner, then John McCain, even though I wasn't too enthusiastic about him. I'm 36 years old. I've been following politics very closely since I was 18. And, I voted for George Bush, unfortunately. But at the same time, I didn't want to vote for Al Gore. But to speed this up a little bit, I've always been a very conservative Republican, and I always voted for the front runner. But never in my whole lifetime have I been more enthusiastic in supporting a candidate than I have been for Trump. Mm-hmm. And I want to also touch on, just very quickly, these Republicans, or supposedly Republicans, I think they're Democrats in Republican clothing.
Right.
Wolves in sheep clothing like Mitt Romney. He is a...
Hello? I think I lost him. Shane?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, quickly. We have the lines. The lines are packed. I got to pick up these calls. Quickly.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that it's so unfortunate these supposed to be Republicans are hiding behind liberal, they're liberals, actually. I think they're Democrats in Republican clothing, like Mitt Romney. And who in the world could possibly vote for somebody like Cruz? He is an absolute opportunist. He's a joke. He's basically just doing some unimaginable things. So, we got to keep up the good work here, and you guys are doing a great job.
Well, Shane, I appreciate
Thank you.
I appreciate the kind words there. I appreciate, continue to be a fan, and seriously, that makes it all worthwhile for me. Again, thank you for calling. Bill, there you have it, Bill. You have a guy who's a conservative who's supporting Trump, and for people when Ted Cruz has had a lot of strikes against him, and when he called Donald Trump supporters, uninformed, unengaged, whether he's backing the leftists during the Chicago riots or whether he's blaming Donald Trump. I mean, he's got 3 strikes against them, and this is he's an attorney, he's a politician. He's the snake oil salesman to me, in my opinion. How do you feel about that, Bill?
Well, I agree. I think that he is early on in this contest. I used to be a Ted Cruz fan. Mm-hmm. I used to be a big Ted Cruz fan. Right. And but what turned me off initially was when that recording was done of him wanting to bear hug the Trump supporters.
Yes.
And get close to them so that when Trump fell out, they would all vote for him, and that was a secretly recorded thing. I just when I look at Ted Cruz, the one word that comes to mind is calculating.
Yes.
I feel like he's always calculating. He's always looking for an opportunity. He's always looking for an edge. And the whole truth thing is secondary.
Right.
To getting that little edge. And the more further and further behind he gets, the more and more desperate he gets.
Yeah. I always say...
So he does things like, accusing...
I always say, Bill, he puts the Harvard spin in everything. I mean, whether... I started calling him poison pill Ted Cruz today, because everything's a poison pill to him. It's just like, that's how he explains everything away. Oh, it was a poison pill. But, Bill, we got to move on right along here. I want to welcome in at this time Victor Breaux. Victor Breaux was on my show yesterday, and he's got a new piece out. It's called "The Conservative Funeral: Ted Cruz as a Pallbearer." Welcome to the Silent Majority.